Good evening, everyone. Starting a little bit ahead of time so that people can come in. I have the watch page up. Hey, Ray. Good to see you. All right, I'm closing things down. Let me get the okay, that's ready to go. Hey, Ray.
Hey, how are you?
Good, 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 good. How's your mom?
She's doing good. She's resting comfortably right now. She's asleep behind me, so I'm just. She might wake up, so if I'll mute myself because I want to feed her before she has her nighttime medicine. But
Sure.
she's doing a lot better today.
Good, 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 good. Good,
Yeah,
good.
I had a nice conversation with one of the nursing supervisors,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm very pleased about how that went. So
Mm-hmm. Good,
I'm
good,
feeling
good,
better
good.
about things. And our problem child has left the facility.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Prayer moved him on to his rightful
Oh
place.
yeah.
Good. Uh-oh.
Uh, how's our little co-pilot tonight?
He's good. He wanted to come to the office and he was like, I want to go to the office with you. I'm like, no, you're, you're going to have to make it happen. No, I don't want to go. I'm like, well, there's not an option.
Oh, before we go any further, I was
Yes.
thinking today about a conversation we've had in the last couple of months. And you were sharing some political ideas, and
Mm-hmm.
I think we were talking about healthcare, politics in general.
Sure, sure.
And I was thinking today, in reference to you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, one of the things I love about that conversation was, even though I didn't really comprehend a lot of it, but
Mm-hmm.
I think to myself, like, God, she's coming from a place, and I think I've told you that where this needs to really be heard.
Yeah.
And don't water it down, is what I want to tell you.
Just give it to him
Don't
straight,
water it down for the
straight, no chaser. Got
don't
it.
water it down for the masses. Give it to them straight because I just know that the right person's got to hear it.
Right,
And if they hear it in that manner, I think it'll influence them a lot more
right,
than
right.
a watered down version to the masses.
Thank you for that. Thank you. No, I
You're
will.
welcome.
I will. I
Yeah,
definitely will share that way.
yeah, because you hit on a lot of very important issues there and things that people ought to be talking about, but they're not. They're skirting around the issues
Mm-hmm.
and putting focus on other things and ignoring real issues.
Right, right.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to.
Thank you for that. No, I appreciate that. That's good feedback. I am well, it's a conversation that needs to be had, and at
Yeah.
least right now I don't hear this the things that I want to say, I don't
Well,
hear
that's
them
just
being
it.
said. Yeah.
These are not. I don't hear this anywhere, and I'm like, where are you people?
Yeah.
Why are you people so silent? You know that these are the issues.
Right.
It has to come up,
Right. Right.
and I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cool. Thank you for that. Very much appreciate it.
Totally.
Very much appreciate it. I got some decor here. Do you see my
Oh, I see
rose?
the beautiful flowers
Aren't they
there.
gorgeous? They're amazing.
Ooh, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
They just add a little something.
It adds a
Dim-
nice dimension.
nice dimensions,
Lovely
yes.
touch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Make sure the framing is right.
Oh, it looks good.
This did you didn't have a chance to look at this chapter ahead of time, did you?
No, I didn't,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Well, I've read the book before, so
Yeah, see, I don't remember with Reverend Della if we got all the way to the end or what, because she would get into a book and then not finish it.
well,
Um,
we did get all the way through, but I think you might have been. I think that's when you were going through your seminary stuff and you were
hmm
away.
Mhm.
Because we
Got
just
it. Got it.
finished it
Got it.
up.
Got it.
But it's been so long ago.
Quintina says she
It's
likes this
been,
format. Hey, Quintina. Hey, Joe. I think Joe is short for Josie. Hey, Josie. I think so. I actually have a friend, Josie Harris, who lives in Chicago. So, um, yeah, no, she had her ways of getting through things. You know, Ray. I don't know if you have the ability to come in town, but you know the ordination is May 21st.
yeah, I've been thinking about that heavily.
Yes.
So I really am trying to get there for that. I
Uh-huh.
really would love to be part of that.
Yeah, it's going to be a an awesome celebration. I'm excited on so many levels. Like
Because
just
it's such an accomplishment. My goodness.
yeah,
Talking about a
yeah.
major happening here, and it's a major part of the church itself too. It's just very exciting,
Yes.
really very exciting because I guess I don't know how you guys determined, but your first ordination or whatever it was,
Hey, Alita.
that must
Well,
be
you know what it
amazing.
was? It was a oh, Joanne. Hey, Joanne. Thank you for that correction. My apologies. Hey, Alita. That first one was the licensing, and
Okay,
so we tried to turn it out for that.
yeah,
We tried to set it off. So now we will definitely try to like really knock it out of the park. And Leela's being ordained.
oh,
Yes,
oh
and
really?
Tommy and Angela are graduating. So I think
Uh-huh.
it's going to be a fascinating day. Like just
Wow.
fascinating weekend. My mom is coming into town. My dad
Thank
is
you.
coming
Oh
into
my goodness.
town. Yeah, yeah. Like,
Oh my goodness.
yep. We got about 60 seconds and then we're going to get started.
All right, I'm gonna mute myself.
And so I know that it's on tape. Just FYI. I forgot
Okay.
last week to tell you guys that. And my mom was like, did you know you started? I was like, yeah, it was intentional. I wanted to open the room so that people could come in, but I forgot it's taping. So just know that. If I had meant the bandwidth, I'd figure out how to edit it, but whatever. Not going to stress it. Good, Joe. Yay. She said it's all good. I'm manifesting panorama of truth. Yes. Girl, I cannot wait. Like, just Miami. Just Miami. I'm Miami, excuse me. Montego Bay, Jamaica. Just the whole well, just the panorama of truth because the conference itself is amazing. But it's just being with a group of like-minded people. It's the camaraderie, it's the friendships, it's people that I only really get to see once a year. Andrea, let me give you this link. See if you can do you see that link? Hey, Olga. Good evening. Uh, it's just an incredible conference. It really is. My first one was 1998 in Chicago, and I was sold. I was absolutely. It was my first time hearing Reverend Mary. It was my first time here seeing Johnny in person, Reverend Johnny, and it was awesome. Awesomeness. All right, y'all. I'm gonna mute some people. Hey, Andrea. Good to see you. We have to catch up, Andrea. I have something to tell you. So, just something you'll appreciate. All right, wonderful. Let's go. We're already live. I'm Reverend Sherri James. I am senior minister for Understanding Principles. Hey, Constance, and I am soon to be ordained. Like I have gotten through the process. It's been 6 years. Started seminary in 2011, and been on the path towards ordination. And so the ordination ceremony is coming up. I guess I should have made a card to display. But anyway, it's May 21st. So if you're in the Los Angeles area or anywhere near here, it would be great for you guys to come on through. It would be a delight. And we are exploring, I'll figure this out on Sunday, what live streaming may look like. It may be a live stream on Facebook. I don't know. I don't know. I got to talk to my tech team and see who knows how to do what, and then we'll go from there. So I'm excited about tonight's conversation because it's all about abundance. And part of how I got into this teaching in the first place, that is, I'm sorry, I should say this part. No, that's not what I want to do. What are you doing? Part of how I got into this teaching in the first place is through studying prosperity. Yes, Alita, it is a birthday ordination thing. Yes. Constance says, has it been that long? Thought you were already ordained. Oh yeah, right. It's a the so listen, in my mind I'm ordained because man didn't give me this call. So man whose breath is in his nostrils did not give me this call. Throughout the process, I have very much been like, look, this process is for y'all. This is not for me because I'm clear. I'm crystal clear. So give me my license and let's go. Um, but they're formal steps, and truly I have grown through each one of these steps. So no complaints here, just gratitude for the process and thankfulness to be done with the process. So tonight, can we have a real conversation about abundance? And the more I read Eric Butterworth, the more I just appreciate this man. He is absolutely amazing. And so this conversation tonight is based on chapter 14, the miracle of abundance. The miracle of abundance. And our outline is pretty straightforward. I've got a few announcements, opening prayer, why the power within you matters. We see this card every week. The key to abundance, and then breakthrough to your greater self. And I've got about 7 or 8 points that I want to share with you from this chapter, really to get you to a greater place in abundance. And then Q&A. And of course, you can ask questions throughout. I want you to ask questions throughout because that helps me to stay on track and to know that I am giving you what you need. Um, all right. Bear with me. Get back here. So, what's your why? I think it's important to know why you do what you do. And the Bible Hangout now, where this month turns, well, not this month, really in September, but with the launch of the website, 3 years old. But we've been doing the broadcast since September 2013, but it went public in 2014. And it's every week. It's free because I think that this is the kind of teaching that needs to be available to everybody. And I think that people need it without having to worry about how they're going to pay for it. It's just the bottom line. This information was given to me freely. And so I passed it back in the same way that it was given to me. I ate at the table of people like the Reverend Dr. Mary Tumpkin, the Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman, Reverend Dolores McMillan, just some amazing, amazing teachers. And they really gave everything that they had to help me be a better person. And so now it's my opportunity to pass this on to the next generation of thinkers that are coming. And then I do have a kind of a personal thing for it because this teaching has come through the ages. It has come through the ages on so many, through Aristotle, through Plato, through the Knights of the Templar, through the Rosicrucians, through the Transcendentalists, through those Northeasterners, with Mary Baker Eddy. And it's not lost on me that this specific Bible-based teaching, it sits in the hands of people like Reverend Mary, Reverend Johnny, but now with their transition, people like me, Reverend Sheila, Reverend Dorothy, Reverend Charles, Reverend Galen, and Reverend Derek, all of our colleagues that we the torch is in our hands. And And so I take it very seriously that we do right by this and that we keep this flame alive. And so that's why this Bible Hangout is so important, is to keep this kind of teaching alive for people who are ready to run, who are ready to really live their highest potential. It is free, but it does cost. And so, if this has made your life better, if you would consider making a gift, and a gift of any size is greatly appreciated, you can make a gift at revsherri.com. And I thank you in advance for your support. It makes it easier to do this. Thank you. And the time and the effort, and that is very much appreciated. Today we are using YouTube Live without Webinar Jam. We did this last week and it looks like this is working. It seems like this is actually turning into a good thing. So, hey, YouTube Live might be what we do from now on. I mean, you guys are telling me that you like the format. So, I'm kind of feeling the YouTube Live thing. So, we'll see. We'll see. There's still Zoom, but, this seems to be working and everybody seems to be able to find it without a whole lot of drama. And that's probably the most important part. The way that this series works is that there's always a blog post and there's always the Bible Hangout. Both of those things happen on Thursday. And then also there's a prayer call. I should tell you, because the prayer call is still going. When we were doing the series on prayer, I organized a mastermind prayer group. And that prayer group, man, the things that we have done, oh my God. So if you're available on Wednesday nights and you're interested in it, send me an email. I send it out from my personal email. I don't use like the email service. It's just a private thing, but you may be interested in that. And I tell you, it has been absolutely remarkable. The things that we have manifested through that call, the peace that has been established, the wealth that has been established, the joy that has been established, all through us gathering once a week, 6 o'clock on Wednesday nights. And if you're interested in being a part of that, definitely let me know, and I would love to include you in that. I think that you would love it. But this series is focused around a blog and the Bible Hangout. Panorama of Truth is coming. This is the summer conference for the Universal Foundation for Better Living. We will be in Montego Bay, Jamaica at the Hyatt Ziva Rose Hall. I am looking forward to being there, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you there. So those of you that are coming, it is a joy to be able to see you there, and I look forward to it. The scripture for this series is: once Jesus was asked by the Pharisees when the kingdom of God was coming. And he answered, the kingdom of God is not coming with things that can be observed, nor will they say, look, here it is, or there it is. For in fact, the kingdom of God is within you. And this is Luke 17:20 and 21. And so I just want to ask you to relax and let us pray. Let us be mindful that there is a power and a presence that loves to breathe itself as us. That this power and presence is God the good, omnipotent, the everywhere, evenly present spirit of absolute good. And I just pray that this lesson tonight is a blessing to all who are present, and even those who watch this broadcast after it is long finished. I ask for the wisdom, the power, the courage, and the authority to teach, to be an open vessel, to allow what the Spirit has given me to flow into greater expression. Let everything that we do in this time together be done for the glory of God, in the name and through the power that is in the name of Jesus the Christ. I affirm that this prayer is so, and so it is. And amen. So this power matters, right? Because everything that we've been talking about is this power, why this power within you matters. Like, what is this about? And the reason that it's so important is because it's the key to your abundance. Everything that you manifest will be a shaping of this power within you, or this energy within you. And In effect, you're walking around with your own gold mine. You're walking, it's you. It's you. You are your wealth story. You are your wealth story. You are the wealth of God in expression. You are the health of God in expression. Every manifestation that you have is a shaping of this energy intelligence, this power that has then put on skin. And so it's important that you know who you are. It's important that you know that you have power. It's important that you grasp that you control that power. It's a really interesting dichotomy, right? Because on the one hand, it's guiding you. And I say it because I want to move beyond this idea of God from a gender perspective. It's guiding you. It's saying go this way, move this way, do this. No, slow down, don't do that. But at the same time, it requires your cooperation. I think it's a fascinating relationship. And I think this is why some mystics use the term co-creation, because you can't do anything without this power. But everything you do is because you said yes to this power. And so you need God. I think anybody that's not a sentence. I think that few people, maybe an atheist that doesn't understand that they too have a God concept, but you need God, right? But God needs you. You're indispensable to God. And just really like eat that. Like you're indispensable to God. Because without your hand, the things that you will do, the things that you are meant to do, if you don't do them, they don't get done. That's it. If you don't do them, they do not get done. And so this power is important, and it's important that you know that it's there, because everything that you do is a shaping of this power. Everything, even the so-called bad stuff, is you. Is you. I'm impressed. Constance says, yes, yes, yes. Amen and amen to everything you are saying. It sets my soul on fire. Yes. We are the power of God in expression. We Everything from your hair follicles to your fingernails to flowers, like everything is a manifestation of this energy pressed into expression. And it's pressed into expression according to your consciousness. It can't show up if it's not in you. Whatever shows up, even that which you say surprises you, it's in you. It must be in you if it's going to be in your experience. I hope somebody hears that. In fact, I know somebody heard that. So this key to abundance, and this is on just the first page of the chapter, is that true prayer does not reach out to God out there in some distant place in the universe. That's not what prayer is about. If you are praying to something, especially something way outside yourself, you trying to get a prayer through the ceiling of your house, that's not true prayer. That's not true prayer. True prayer is about communing with the energy that indwells you. And that doesn't require words. That's a feeling. When Reverend Della was working with me personally, I would go to her home, and I would go to her bedroom, which is where she was, often. And I would see her, and I'd sit at the edge of her bed, and she'd be laying she had one of those automatic beds or whatever that, like, you could sit all the way up in it, almost like a chair. And I remember one day I was sitting at the edge of her bed, just kind of talking to her, like, yeah, you never know, whatever. I don't know what I was saying. It doesn't matter. I was just trying to listen, to be a good listener and not talk, just listen. And she said, it's a feeling thing. And she was trying to tell me but show me at the same time. It's like it's a feeling thing. It's and it's and you feel God at the center of your being. You feel the spirit, and that needs no words. And so you there's this recognition of your connection with the whole, that you are one with this most beautiful energy that hung the moon, the stars, that keeps the planets in alignment, that supports and sustains every manifestation, even the manifestations that don't acknowledge it, mainly people. even even that it stands in complete integrity underneath all of that, and that you can go inside of yourself and make that contact with the only power that there is. And so that's the true prayer. It's not the God, can you help me get this man, or woman, whatever your thing is. It's not the God, I really need that rent. Really, I really want you to help me with that rent. And I'm not saying don't pray for the things that you need, but I'm saying that there's something beyond praying just for the things that you need. That there is a type of prayer that is a communion, a common union with God. And that's available to you. And it's the key to your abundance. That part of what, or all of what, keeps you in a space of separation from your good is the belief that you and God are separate and different from one another. What messes you up is the belief that you and God are separate and or different from one another, and you are not. Linda said, I just want to be more of that expression. Teach. Yes. No, not begging or bargaining. No, you can't. There's no reason for you to. God never withholds himself or itself. Again, I'm moving off of the gender because you say himself and immediately the mind, creates a male image deity in the sky. It gives, you give it a race, and an ethnicity, and it's a mess. Olga says, yes, it is very powerful, has gotten through. Good. That is why I have surrendered to him so he can fulfill his purpose through me. Yes, that's it. We just opening up, just breathe through me. What do you want to do today, God? That's a beautiful prayer. What do you want to do today, God? Who are we going to bless today? Who are we going to love on today? Who are we going to share with today? Who are we going to touch today? Lead, guide, direct my path. You know who needs what I have. Send me out into the world to give it. I will be your vessel. I will be your hands. I will be your feet. I'll go wherever you want me to go. I'll serve whoever you want me to serve. I'm moving with a servant's heart. That's power. That's power. Linda said, that's the way I feel too, especially when I see the wonder of this universe and its expanse, and we are not separate. We are not. We are not. We are not. I am a part of the whole. So this key to abundance, right? So you simply get still and realize your unity with the whole. And that's what Reverend Della was showing me when I was sitting in her room. This was years ago now. She doesn't even live in that same house. That you just get still, and what you're feeling for is that energy, and you can feel it. I saw this on oh goodness, I'm gonna put the camera up so you can see what I'm doing. I saw this on Eckhart Tolle. He was talking about a new earth, a new heaven and a new earth. And what was powerful about it is that he said, you sit with your hands, and my hands are up, but he was saying, you sit with your hands and they're upright on your lap. And you can do this now. They're upright, so hands up, palms up. And you can close your eyes and you can feel the vibration that is you. That's the Christ. When it says it's nearer than my own breath, closer than my hands and feet, That's it. And the thing about this feeling is that you can begin to give your attention to it and it will fill your entire body. It'll be like you're on fire with the Spirit of God. You can feel it. You can feel it in your hands. Even just sitting here like this, I can feel it in my hands. And it will go through you. And now here's the thing. The scripture says, where I go, John 14, 1 through 4. In my Father's house are many mansions, right? Where I go to prepare a place. I'm butchering the verse, but just look it up. John 14, 1 through 4. I go to prepare a place for you. So this energy that you feel is what we call I am. You have the ability to send this energy into desired forms. Most often, we send this energy into stuff that we don't desire. And so we go and make the most heinous situations or the most depraved conditions alive with feeling. A bill comes, we can't pay the bill, and we don't know where money is going to come to pay the bill. And so this same energy we take and send into a form, and we're living the experience of a phone call with the collector, or we're living the experience of the bill going past due, but we're living the experience. Where I go to prepare a place for you. And so we are taking the Christ of our being and sending it into forms that we say, I would never choose that. But oh, yes, you did. That. And so mastery, self-mastery is not about, can you will yourself to do all of these things that you don't want to do? The self-mastery is, can you simply be still, feel the Christ of your being, commune with it, and then send it into desired forms? In my Father's house are many mansions. In my Father's house are many levels of consciousness at which I can inhabit. And I can choose the level on which I'm going to express. And where I go to prepare a place for you. That there's a point, there comes a point where you send the Christ of your being into expressions, and it reaches a tipping point where you have agreed with it and it has agreed with you. And baby, watch out, because experience is coming. So this is what that's why they say you don't need to do anything, because all you need to do is sit and send the Christ of your being into desired forms, and you will be compelled into the right action. Constance says, great exercise. We'll do this in class on Tuesday. Yes. John 14. Thank you, Alita. I'm butchering a verse. In my Father's house, there are many mansions. And if not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Phyllis says, is this like awakening your chakras or your 12 powers? Yeah. Yeah. Just yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And so this is how you heal yourself. This is how you heal yourself. That when they tell you you have some condition of the blood or some bonkus of the conkus, right? Then it's, no, I don't. Let me sit and talk to my blood. You talking to it anyway. You just don't know you are. Let me sit and talk to my heart. Let me have a conversation with my spleen. Let me talk to my legs, ladies. Let me commune with this, because this body obeys me. Your body is obeying you. Your body is not betraying you. It's obeying you. Okay? Your body is obeying you. It's you that your body is listening to at 2 and 3 in the morning. So I'm saying, have a conscious conversation. Love every aspect of who you are. Get in the mirror, get naked. Not naked. naked. And love every part of you. Get into conversation. You're already, I'm saying this as if it's not happening. I want to be clear. You're already in conversation with your body. Think about the thing. You know you say something to you when you walk past the mirror. Something I learned from my friend Reggie Bythewood, who he and his wife have the show Shots Fired on Fox, is that when you feel your worst, that's when you need to dress your best. Because the last thing you need to do is feel like crap and walk through a mirror and look worse than you feel. that will bring your energy down. So when you feel your worst, put your best on, so that at the very least you don't bring yourself down any further when you see yourself in the mirror. Constance says, my favorite prayer is, may the Spirit of the Lord go before me, making my way easy, joyous, successful, and free. Yes. To send the law of good before me. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I got to keep moving. There's so much here. Really just at the beginning of the chapter. But the universe in which we live is strangely and wonderfully accommodating. The sin, the only sin there is, I got to hit on this. I'm sorry, y'all. The only sin there is not to know your own divinity. This, hear that. The sin is not eating the apple. The sin is not eating the apple. I know they told y'all that. Don't believe it. The sin is not eating the apple. The sin is seeing two powers. They said their eyes were open because they were no longer looking at good alone. They were looking at good and evil. The only sin there is not to know that you are divine, and then to live up and out of an awareness of something other than your divinity. And so the sin that keeps you, the mistake that keeps you from your abundance, hello, somebody, is not knowing who you are. Because when you know who you are, I asked this at the conference, and I think I may have said this to you guys last week. If you really believe that God was your parent, how would you walk? How would you talk? How would you carry yourself? There's a way, I think about my coming up next week is my I'm about to say anniversary, but that's not the word I mean, reunion for college. And, so all my classmates are going back, and, it's a big pride thing, like, oh, we went to this amazing school. And so there's some people who kind of walk with some energy because they went to that school, right? That, I have that degree from that school. And there's an attitude about it. When you lead, it's like, hello, I'm Sherri from Harvard. I'm Jeff from Yale, right? And it's like it's almost, you almost carry it like it's synonymous with your name, right? And you think about the pride that we put in these physical things, these physical manifestations. But what if you really, 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 really believed that you were God's child? How would you carry yourself? How would you carry yourself? Like, I know I'm Peggy's child, right? I feel that, right? And I feel that viscerally. But what if you viscerally felt that you were God's child? How would you walk? The only sin there is to not know your divinity. Because then you operate out of less than your privilege. You operate out of less than your very best. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay. So the things I want you to keep. Number one, abundance depends on how we see ourselves. Abundance depends on how we see ourselves. The question that you have to ask yourself is, do I really believe that abundance is more than money? Do I really believe that abundance is more than money? And I find that if you talk to people long enough, that what you will discover is that abundance may be more than money, but for them, it's only money. If you look at the experience, because if you believe that you are abundant, you act the part. And so I think it's nice to have the affirmation that abundance is far more than money. But you've got to hold your own feet to the fire and say, do I really believe that? And he said something that I think is powerful, which is that the universe in which we live is strangely and wonderfully accommodating because we are all unique particularizations of the infinite, because we are all part of this accommodating universe. Asking is tantamount to receiving. Seeking is actually finding, and knocking is the opening of the door. And so I turned around and said, so then, quite frankly, that if you haven't received, then you haven't asked. If you haven't found, then you haven't sought. And if no door has opened, then you haven't knocked. That these are inviolable laws of the universe. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open. That shall is a legal word, that whatever it refers to must happen, non-negotiable. And so you find then that when you're working with God, that there's no settling with God, because the rule is lavish abundance. God always delivers in lavish abundance every time. If you are settling, then it's not God. God doesn't ask you to settle. And the thing is that only you know whether you're settling. So no one can judge that for you. So you have to know your own divinity, because when you know who you are, you won't accept anything less than who you are. When you know who you are, you won't accept less than who you are. It will come, and it may come in the prettiest of packages. It may come in the most handsome of packages. But when you know who you are, it's no, darling. No, darling. You have not offered me what I'm worth. So, because see, what you receive from the universe reflects your self-understanding. What you receive from the universe reflects your self-understanding. So you got to know your own divinity. And when you expand your self-concept, your world expands correspondingly. And when you restrict your self-concept, your world follows suit. The other thing he says in this chapter is that there is no supernatural. I think this was probably one of my favorite points, because we go on and on and on. I'm looking for a miracle. It's going to take a miracle to get out of this. I want you to know that there is no miracle. There is only the ever-present possibility of laying hold of divine law on higher and higher levels. That's all there is. When we look at the lessons in Jesus's miracles, it's that we live in a universe that's opulent, limitless, and accommodating. That's what the miracle is. Most of us have been taught to look at Jesus's miracles in one of two ways. We're either looking at it with a kind of a side eye, like, okay, here we go with this religious stuff, right? Or we're looking at it with, only he can do that. But the thing is that we experience plenty of miracle-like things that we don't always understand. I mean, if you think about the fact that we use electricity every day, and few of us, if any of us, truly understand how electricity works, and yet we're able to flip on a switch in our homes and light emanates from the bulbs, period. Every so-called miracle represents a tapping of the universe at a level that we do not consciously understand. But it does not mean that you have somehow circumvented or gone around or sidestepped spiritual law. And that's good news, because the thing is, this is why it's good, is that I can benefit from God even before I understand how the benefit works. God never withholds itself from me. I can always benefit from God no matter what. God never waits until I understand that the Spirit will give it to me in the way that I can receive it. I had the most amazing lesson. I was working with Jordan on a puzzle, and this puzzle had 20 pieces, and it was a train, and so they were interlocking puzzle pieces, and they were numerical. So meaning one only fit with two, two only fit with three, and so forth, up to 20. And then they had animals on them, and the number of animals or bugs or whatever corresponded to the number on the little puzzle piece. And so I was working with Jordan to put it together, and he loves trains, and so he was totally into it. But he cannot yet recognize his numbers, but he knows his animals. Like it's most amazing. He knows all of his animals. Seems like more animals than I know. And so I was working with him, and I would say, "Okay, baby, I want you to find the piece with the number one on it." Well, he don't know one or anything, right? I said, "Okay, well, find the one with the moose on it." And so he found the one with the moose on it. And then I said, "Okay, now find number two." Well, he doesn't recognize number two. And so I said, "Okay, look for the one with the two bumblebees on it." Well, he knows what bees looks like, and then he gave it and he fit it together. And then he would get frustrated sometimes, and I would, kind of talk him back from the ledge. No, 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 don't run off. Come on, let's go back. And it hit me while I was working with him that this is how God works with us. That God doesn't wait until we can recognize all the elements. God doesn't need us, using this example, doesn't need us to know our numbers to bless us. That the grace of God will find a way to communicate with us to help us put the puzzle pieces of our life together such that we may have the blessing of the completed puzzle piece of the accomplishment that we are reaching for. And so there is no miracle. There is only the ever-present availability of spirit. There is only the ever-present availability of spirit, and it's waiting in potential. All you got to do is go get started. As long as Jordan was willing to work with me on the puzzle, as long as he was willing to move beyond his frustration, I could help him organize and realize the completion of the puzzle. Had he gotten frustrated and refused to play anymore, game over. And that's what happens in our lives, that we get frustrated, we don't want to play anymore, right? Thinking that somehow we'll never get the information that we need. God will find a way to communicate. You don't know your numbers, baby? Okay, that's all right. Listen, I know you know your animals. I will help you with your animals. Woo. Constance says, get what you can where you at to get the blood. Yes, it's a beautiful thing. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. That's one of the best lessons I ever got. As Andrea says, you are saying everything I need to hear tonight, Rev. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing. And that's why you got to understand that we live in an abundant universe. That the spirit will find a way to give you what it is that you need. But there's got to be some receptivity, because the moment that he would, get frustrated and try to, move away from the puzzle and go play with another toy, right? That's the equivalent of us saying, you know what, I'll never get this book done, or I'll never get this business off the ground, or and we get frustrated and go do something else. And the thing is that you've got to stick with something until it blesses you. You've got to have a determinedness about it. Like, I will have you. I want you, you want me. Whatever it is, right? And listen. All poverty is of the mind. Now, this is really powerful to get. All poverty is of the mind. There is no absence of God anywhere in the universe. There is no shortage of God anywhere in the universe. The only lack in life is the thought of lack. You are always as rich as you think you are, and the only poverty is of the spirit. There are people right now, I will not call names, who are building entire business models off convincing you that because you belong to a certain race and ethnic group that you are poor. And they have entire charts that they will bring up about how this group of people is marginalized and kept out of the wealth system. And here's the thing. They're using the energy of God to spew the nonsense. And guess what they've got? They've got newsletters that you can sign up for $2 a month, $3 a month, whatever it is. It's the same energy. They're using the energy of God to tell you that the energy of God is not available to you. Mind you, that's not their language. What they're saying is that there are all these barriers to your wealth. You've been kept out of the system. When you look at those that have made it, they are actually outliers. They're not the truth of experience. Come on now. Reverend Mary said, I wouldn't listen to anybody tell me I couldn't have what I want. Just, I'm telling you, if you're settling, it's not God. And there is an attitude to abundance. And it is very true that the rich get richer, but the rich get richer because they think richly. And the poor get poorer because they think poorly. But if you take a rich thought and put it in a poor mind and let it grow, all the racism in the world couldn't keep your wealth from you. You are not dependent on agreement from an outside entity, an outside person, or anything in order to have what is yours. Don't listen to just anything. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff going on in this world. Yes, absolutely. One of my favorite lines is from a Robin Thicke song, Magic. He says, all I got is concrete all around me, but I can see the countryside. You can be rich when you're poor, poor when you're rich. It can be raining and I can make the sun shine. It might be raining in your life, but can you make the sun shine? There is a young lady, I put her TED talk in today's blog post, Chinyo Idachaba, and she's Nigerian and she was educated here. Fascinating story because she goes back and basically takes a plant, the water hyacinth, that was considered the cause of the poverty in a particular region in Nigeria, and she ends up working with it, putting her mind to it. And now it has become the source of the prosperity in the region. The thing that you think is the source of your demise is actually the seed for your greatest demonstration. You just got to know what to do with it. You don't know how to work with the water hyacinth. Well, listen, you know how to do it. God will work with you. It's like, you don't know your numbers, baby? Okay, fine. Here, I'm going to help you. You know your animals, right? You know your shapes. I mean, like, I will meet you wherever you are to carry you wherever it is that I've already told you I'm going to take you. I'm not forsaking my promise. I'm not waiting for you to get smarter. I'm waiting for you to say yes. I'm waiting for you to say yes. I'm waiting for you to say yes. I'm waiting for you. Listen to that. Hear that. I'm waiting for you to say yes. That's what God is waiting for. He's waiting for us to say yes. To say no to what we don't want. To no to the things that we would be settling for. And yes to the things that we require. And you got to be willing to say no. You have to be willing to say no. You have to be willing to say, you know what? This is not for me. And I don't want it just to have something. I don't want it just to have something. I trust, even though I trust without evidence that what I want can be. And so I'm willing to say no to even things that look close to it, but are not it. You don't have to settle if it's God. You do not have to settle. There is no difference between 2 million and 2 cents. I know you think I'm crazy for saying that. There is no difference between 2 million and 2 cents. But here, I know how you understand it. Is not a drop of water the same makeup as a water in a bucket or an ocean? If you look at form, absolutely, in the form, it's different. But the constituent elements, the things that keep it together, are all the same. And so your job then is learning to look beyond what it is that you have and see to the idea back of it. The idea back of 2 million is the same idea back of 2 cents. And in truth, 2 million can be a symbol of lack and 2 cents can be a symbol of abundance. Its meaning lies in the mind of the holder. There may be somebody who does not have an abundance consciousness, and they define rich by having $10 million and they only have 2 million and they feel like they are broke. And there may be somebody else who recognizes that The substance is the true idea that stands underneath all things. And so if I have found 2 cents, I have also found 2 million, because it's the same energy. It takes no more to press out 2 cents than it does to press out 2 million. So can you look beyond what you have and see, look at what you have and see beyond the appearance to the divine idea that stands underneath it? And if you can, then here's the divine promise. Get to and embrace the idea back of the thing, and you can have the thing. Get to and embrace the idea back of the thing, and you can have the thing. Can you look at the pennies and embrace substance? Can you look at the dollars and embrace substance? Whatever, can you look at the thing and embrace the idea back of it? Because when you do, you begin to praise it because you've made a demonstration. Reverend Mary used to say, if you only got lint in your pocket, you need to praise God, because that's your demonstration. You got something in your pocket. You have proved substance. Now, all you got to do is bless it so that it may become whatever it is that you want. The principles of manifestation never change. The laws that govern expression, they don't change. The only change lies in your use of them. The same law that produced the 2 cents produces the 2 million. Work the law, get the result. The magic lies in blessing what you have. Whatever you have, no matter how seemingly inadequate, bless it. Even if you have no money and no food, bless your hands, your mind, your skills, your friend, the air you breathe, the sun that brings light. Bless everything, and your life will be blessed with riches hitherto undreamed of. I had an experience. I just remembered this. I had an experience. This was, this is last year. And some friends of mine, we did called it a radical gratitude challenge. And so we went on Facebook and we did videos, 30 seconds of like radical gratitude. And in one of my videos, I gave thanks for being single. You bless what you got. You don't curse where you are. You bless what you have. Because what you have is a demonstration. And if you can bless what you have, you free what you have to leave, and more can come in. The spirit is intelligent. I used to be afraid to bless being single because I thought, well, I don't want no more of that. I thought that blessing keeps me anchored to it. No, baby, blessing just anchors you to the good in it. And it begins to transform it. The spirit is intelligent. It knows how to pull off the dross and keep the nugget of good that's there. And I remember one of my friends, she was like, girl, you don't talk your business or something like that. And I'm like, honey, I'm working a principle. The principle is, if I bless it, it don't have to stay with me. If I bless it, then what is good will stay, and what is not good will run right on out the door. And I am a witness today that is true. I am a witness today that is true. What you bless, you transform. The blessing doesn't anchor it to you. It transforms it into better. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Phyllis says, most times we are asking for one thing, but focusing on the opposite of what we really want. Yes, yes, yes. You got to bless it. I bless you, darling. I bless you. Whatever you are, I don't care how funky it looks, how stanky it looks. I bless it. Every little bit of it. And the blessing is a transformative power. We think of blessing as anchoring it to us, or at least I thought that. I don't know what you think, but I thought that. I was afraid to bless what I didn't want because I thought that it kept me attached to it. But the blessing it transforms it. It's a transmutational energy, and it will shift whatever it is into what you want. Don't believe me? Try it. Take a 30-day blessing challenge. Take something that you are absolutely frustrated with, whatever it is. Take something that you are absolutely like, I have had enough of this. And take 30 days and get a calendar, because I love this is what I do to like keep myself accountable. Get a calendar and put a tick mark every time you do, you slash through the day. And every time you bless it, put a mark through the day. And see if in 30 days, it'll change before then, but see if in 30 days it's not exactly what you want. I've done that with jobs. I walked into jobs that paid nothing, turned it into corporate positions. You got to bless it. You got to bless it, bless it. And as you bless it, that energy just begins to shift. It breaks up all of that, whatever that is, all that gook. And it releases that light that was hidden by the thing that's frustrating you. Phyllis says, I bless it, release it to its highest good. Yes. Yeah, you bless everything. To pick the thing that you're sensitive about. I was sensitive about being single. Pick the thing you're sensitive about. Bless that. Ooh, see if God won't bring you exactly what you want. Use what you got to get what you want. Take action in a bold way. You have no reason to hesitate. Not a one. Not a one. There's a quote from William Hutchison Murray. And it says, until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance, which no man could have dreamt would have come his way. I have learned a deep respect for one of Goethe's couplets. Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. The truth is that you really can't be stranded in a universe that's so accommodating like the one we live in. The lack you perceive anywhere is really an illusion. You just may be living a limited experience, but that limited experience has no permanence. The moment you lay hold to the abundance idea, you can have an experience of that abundance. And I love what he says. It's so powerful. This is on, let me not get the page wrong. This is on page, this is on page 181. He says, lack is really an illusion. It is the acceptance of the appearance as being real. Lack is my saying that because I do not have a pencil to write 2 + 2 = 4, I cannot add the figures. But the principle is true regardless. God is substance, and substance is omnipresent, whether or not man provides the consciousness through which it may manifest. And so you got to lean towards your good with everything that you have in whatever way that you can. Do whatever you can. Do whatever you can. Just begin to lean toward it, and it will lean back towards you. And one day soon, that which you truly desire will tip out of the invisible and into the visible. And you will know with clarity that lack is but an attitude of mind. You can do that. You can do that. And while you're at it, know that how is none of your business. I have one job, and that is to remain in a consciousness of expectancy. That's it. I have one job. Edwene Gaines, you guys know she has come to a number of panoramas of truth for us. She taught me that. How is none of your business. I'm not required to know how. So many blessings miss us because we're trying to figure out how. I have one job. Be in expectancy. Because the miracle is not about the way it manifested. We get caught up in that. There's some amazing things that are happening in my life today that, if I described to you the story of how it came together, you'd be really impressed. But It's not about how it happened. Really, it's about the ever availability of ideas, of guidance, of all things working together for good. And here's the thing, your miracles should not look like Jesus's miracles because you're not Jesus. But that doesn't change your ability to make contact with the infinite and draw out exactly what you want and you need. How many blessings have been missed because we needed to know how before we would become ready, before we would open our heart to receive? And so I put an affirmation in the blog. I said, put this on the bathroom mirror so you see it. How is none of my business. I free spirit to bring my good in whatever way spirit deems appropriate. Right now, I am open, receptive, and moving in a state of complete expectancy. I'm ready, God. Bring what you got. Bring what you got. Bring what you've got. Whatever it is, God, however you want to bless me, because I know whatever you want to do is going to be better than what I want to do. How is none of your business. And this is probably my favorite part of the whole chapter. The miracle of abundance works through your consciousness. The miracle of abundance works through your consciousness. If you turn to page 184, page 184. And this, I just think this is powerful. I think this is absolutely mind-blowing. So this is what he says. He says, if a chemist prays for guidance, ideas come about chemistry. If a physicist prays for guidance, ideas come about physics. You think about that? They come according to your consciousness. If the poor man prays for prosperity, the answer may come in a handout. If the rich man prays for prosperity, the answer may come in $1 million windfall on the stock market. It comes according to your consciousness. He writes, the answer always comes to you in the divine prompting, Son, thou art ever with me, and all that is mine is thine. But the degree or form or shape of the manifestation depends upon your faith, your vision, your ability to accept the opulence of the universe. Think about that. The poor man is never going to draw the $1 million windfall on the stock market because ain't no consciousness for that. He's going to receive the abundance at the level that he can open up. He writes, the law is, it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. God is all sufficiency, your instant, constant, and abundant supply, but you will experience only that which you can take into your consciousness. Thus, any limitation must be a limitation in thought, in the faith that shapes the substance. Light streaming through a window will always consume the shape and color of the aperture through which it comes. The wealth of the universe will be yours to the degree that you can see it and see yourself using it. I think that's fire. I think it's the same law. And it flows according to your consciousness. And the question you got to ask yourself is, how am I praying? Am I praying as the beggar, or am I praying as the prosperous person? Am I praying as the victim, or am I praying as the victor? Am I praying as the loser, or am I praying as the champion? That's the question you got to ask. How are you coming to the throne of grace? Because the scripture says, go boldly, right, to the throne of grace, right? Walk up to God. This is what I need. I need this type of car. I need this type of spouse. I need this kind of. Come on now, you got to go boldly and ask for what you want, because it's going to come to you according to your consciousness. And so your prosperity then is a function of how you are, of being. How are you showing up? When you go into your prayer closet, how are you showing up? Are you showing up like you on your last leg? Or are you showing up like I'm getting refueled to go back and do some more good? You have a choice. You have a choice as to how you approach God. No one controls how you approach God. No, they may try to mess with your taxes. They might try to mess with your health care. They might try to mess with your neighborhoods. But what they cannot ever mess with is how you go to God. And how you go to God determines what you receive from God. Come on. That's it. That's it. It's on me. It's on me to bless me. Andrea said, oh, wait, I missed Phyllis. Phyllis says, I'm going to write that on my checkbook. Yes. So true, Phyllis. We must remain ever conscious of our thoughts. Yes. Yes, yes. 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 I have a friend that says, agree, agree. Come on now. Stand up now as the champion you were designed to be. Claim your inheritance as a spiritual being. Someone very special told me I am a divine expression of unlimited potential in a world of infinite possibilities. I am a divine expression of unlimited potential in a world of infinite possibilities. My expansion has no limits. My expansion has no limits at all. I can become whatever I decide to become. I can be whatever I choose to be. I do not need your agreement. You do not need mine. And so now it's time to do something, y'all. This lesson, don't let it just end now that we're at 8:03. Maybe you've been resisting abundance, thinking that it was something too difficult to realize. But the question is, are you willing to see yourself as the victor? And many of you have been in this training for a while. So this is really a call for you to go to a higher level. This is really what this is. This is a call for you to go to higher. You've been studying this. You've been working with these principles. You've been, moving through it, right? So this is really a call for you to go even further. That's what this is. This is a call for you to go even further. Where are the places, right? And I still have them. So I know you got them. Those places where you still show up maybe as a victim. Those places where you still show up not claiming your divine sonship. Are you willing to let those go? It's something that it frustrates me because it comes out like almost like de facto. The damsel in distress. And I work on not being that damsel in distress, but sometimes it's like so inbred, it's just that southern upbringing, and it's like, can you drop that? Can you let that go? Can you let that go? Can you see that was part of a training and not who you are? And that you can get your needs met for attention and affection and love, right? Because as women, we're taught this, right? That this is how you get what you want. That you walk in a sense of or an attitude of helplessness on some things, right? And can you see that there is a way for your needs to be met without you then assuming the role of someone who cannot take care of themselves? Take some time after this video to reflect on abundance. Are you willing to approach spirit as one who deserves wealth? Are you willing to approach spirit as one who deserves wealth? And then leave a comment on the YouTube video. What was your biggest takeaway? How can you use what you've heard? All of that. Phyllis says this was a sobering awakening to experience our divinity. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yes. Questions? Thank you, Constance. She said, this is another lesson that goes on my phone. Great stuff and beautiful soul reminders. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Any questions? Linda says, when I write a check, I write, thanks, God. Yes, yes. That's it. Thank you. I am abundant. Y'all like my flowers? I got a little something extra today. I should bring up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. They are gorgeous, aren't they? They smell so good. I had to make them part of the broadcast tonight. Wonderful. Have a lovely night. Next week, chapter 15. And we're getting to the end of this, and so I need where you guys want to go next. Constance says, is it from not so single anymore thing? Perhaps, Constance, you're very perceptive. We will be talking about In Defense of Judas. Um, Thank you, Eves. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He said, America needs this teaching right now. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, Constance, you might get to meet and such an experience in Jamaica, possibly. Anyway, In Defense of Judas is next. And then I want to know where you guys want to go next. We could actually do, Eric has a few books on abundance, but one that everybody loves, Spiritual Economics. So that's a possibility. We could do an abundance thing. We could go and do a scripture thing, kind of let me know what you guys are interested in doing as kind of our next, where we want to go next. And we've got about four weeks, maybe to the end of the month. So I'll need that kind of time to, especially with the ordination coming up, I'll need that time to kind of begin to build lesson plans and all of that. So as much as you guys can kind of let me know in advance, maybe I'll put a poll out or something and take a survey. All right. Thank you. Oh, yes. Catherine Ponder is, well, yeah, I know Catherine Ponder is amazing. She actually would be a great place to go next. So wonderful. Thank you guys so much. Quintina says, what were some of the books that we were looking at when we picked this book? I'd have to go back and look. I don't remember what the runners up were. I don't remember. But I'll go back and look at the poll that we sent out. So Joseph Benner, yes. Joseph Benner. And then we also talked about the untethered soul. Did we say that? The untethered soul. Is that Michael Singer or somebody? Yeah, the Joseph Benner. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. You guys have a great night. I will see you guys next week. Take care.